So we're still focusing on that issue of public participation. And let me bring in the CEC Makueni County, who is in charge of Devolution, County Administration, Public Service and Youth. And that is Mr. Joshua Wambua, talking to us here on KTN News Center, joining us virtually. Mr. Wambua, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us here on KTN News Center. So kindly take us through what the public needs to expect, residents of Makueni County, what they need to expect when it comes to public participation and when it will begin.
Yeah, thank you very much. In Makueni County, as you know, we have got a very vibrant public participation system, whereby we involve all the members of the public on issues that are touching them and issues that are touching on management of public affairs. And in this regard, particularly to do with the BBI, of course, the whole nation is in the process of dealing with this matter, as it were. And county assemblies are expected to look into the matter. As a county, we have carried out public participation. It was done yesterday. In each of the wards, there were 2 sessions. 1 session per sub-ward. People were divided into 2 geographical areas per ward, so that they would have some access to the event. And so the document was, the elements of the document were highlighted to them. They asked questions, very intelligent questions. And then they understood what is contained in the document. However, majority of them were still asking for the document because it has not reached them, it has not reached to them in hard copies particularly. Because much as it is in soft all around, they may not be having the infrastructural gadgets to be able to access such a document.
But then how are you going to ensure that even the people who've not received this document and are still asking for them, that their sentiments are captured?
Now, during that meeting, the only promise we could make was that when the documents become available, we will still send the documents to them. And we encourage them, those ones who are able to speak, they spoke, and their sentiments were taken note of. Those ones who can write are still given the opportunity to write and submit their memoranda.
But the biggest question, Mr. Wambua, is on the minds of many Kenyans, including my mind, is how will the members of the MCAs make a decision when it comes to making that crucial decision based on what the common Wananchi wants and not what their political parties want?
I think to be specific on the case of Makueni, we are compiling the report. And the governor will submit the report to the assembly, so that the assembly will look into the report. I think they will make a choice as to looking at the report. But we also understand that the county assemblies are also planning to go out and seek for the views of the Mwananchi. I think what is very key, in my view, is that as leaders, before we take any position, it is good to ensure that we have the views of the Mwananchi taken care of, because these issues are going to affect the Mwananchi, not necessarily the leader alone. And so I think as good leadership and what I would call a good approach, it would be necessary for every leader to consult with the Mwananchi, just like it has been a consultative process in arriving at critical and heavy public affairs issues.
All right, and finally, as we bring this conversation to an end, Mr. Wambua, we know that Makueni Governor Kivutha Kibwana has already, way back, he made his stand very clear on, the BBI and the contents of that document. Are we likely, or what can you promise the residents of Makueni County that whatever decision that will be made by the MCAs will not be based on political influence from the county boss? Briefly.
Incidentally, the county boss was not even involved in this exercise. And therefore, the Mwananchi were, in fact, the Mwananchi is quite well informed, I can tell you. I think they have learned a number of, they have learned about the elements of the BBI. And the few copies that we had, they were able to read and understand. And you can hear them starting to debate about it, meaning that they are starting to internalize it at personal level, not through any influence by anyone.
All right.
Yeah, so like the report that is going to be forwarded, it will be forwarded raw as it is, so that the names of the people who participated will be there. The number, of course, will be shown, what they said, and then we leave it there. And then the leaders will be able to consume the information. And if they want to go and counter-check, they will go down on the ground and counter-check.
All right, Joshua Willie Wambua, asante sana for joining us here on KTN News Center. He's the CC Makueni County in charge of devolution, administration, public service, and youth. Now, away from that public participation conversation that we've had for the better part of this hour, now we shift our focus to matters politics. And Deputy President William Ruto's